Just got the 2-year-olds now. We're going to talk about the 2-year-olds. I'm going to do my opening tomorrow on my way to Kentucky. It gives me a fresh look at what has gone on the entire week. I don't have to worry about the stress of racing Arson because it's going to take place after the video was made, or Memory and Imagination. They're our last 2-year-olds to race this year. So let's talk about the other ones. You guys know, I'm going to run through it pretty quick because, for the most part, these horses will return, most of them, December 1st to December 15th. Arson, Memory and Imagination closer to Christmas, or in between Christmas to New Year. And some of the horses will come back in soon, right? We have a couple that are almost ready to go right now. We'll talk about also. Affection will come back in first part of December for her. Alibaba, she's going to leave after this week and never come back. She's going to the Ohio Sale. I'm just disappointed with her overall output this year. Very, very disappointed. And she's going to be in the Ohio Sale. Arson, there's the opposite of a horse that disappointed me. This horse, when you buy that small $85,000 Captain Treacherous in a basket full of what seems like a sea of Captain Treacherouses, what are you gonna? That's funny.
That's at Keeneland.
Yeah, they did that the year we were there too, weren't they?
That's hilarious.
What? Yeah, the Headless Horseman. They did that at Keeneland. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
So Arson, optimism. We're optimistic, and the optimism is high when it comes to this horse. But how's he gonna be? Right? We took him down to Oak Grove, and he won that first start. He's a pretty nice colt. We're gonna get some money out of Oak Grove, and then what are we gonna do? Then he got beat with Scotty that day. You're like, oh Jesus, maybe not the best spot for him. We're back down to Kentucky, where I didn't know how things would be, and just straight ahead. What a nice horse he's turned into be. So Arson has just been an incredibly nice colt. Picked to win the $70,000 final tomorrow. Middle of the gate. He's in a good spot tomorrow. He's in a good spot, so we'll see how that plays out. Blanton's Blue will come back in last week in November, probably first week of December. Born to Dance, first part of December, will bring him back in. Did Not Know is now training in Ontario with Dominic, so we'll be watching for updates from him. Don't Talk About Bruno. A little rough on Bruno, weren't you? I noticed somebody sold a share of Bruno yesterday for about $60. A little hard on Bruno, I think. I have no problems with Bruno, especially, for the people that say, well, he was only a very mediocre, prospect horse. Resolute Bay was an okay prospect horse at 2-2, and he ended up being okay. So I'm not worried about Bruno. For the person who bought the share, well played. And probably for the person who sold the share, I guess they probably just didn't want to carry it any longer, which is fine. I understand. Drebin, excited about this guy. When he does come back in, he's coming over here, I believe, to jog and train. He can come back in probably in another couple of weeks, maybe. Okay. First couple of weeks in November. Why? When do you need the stall? Are you asking?
I'm just trying to keep everybody full.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can figure that out. Easy in the Turns trained in 2-4.
She's went to Mohawk.
Yeah. She trained in 2-4 the other day. She's ready to go. They're going to school her next week, I believe. That'll be her.
That's the furthest she's been, because we stopped with her in like
210 or something. Yeah.
15.
Did she go to Grand River that day?
No.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, that's the first she's been. Here's a huge update. I forgot to tell Bill this. I was floored by this. A huge update. Everybody's going to hear it at the same time. The only ears that have ever heard this were mine yesterday. Electric Line trained in 2-1, and Harry said that is a nice horse.
Yeah, I heard that.
This is a horse that run his entire... So, for those of you out there that wonder, every so often, whether it be Absolute Euphoria or maybe Electric Line, any of those horses that just weren't good at 2, for whatever, you just couldn't put it all together, and then you gave them the time, it is so gratifying to watch them every so often. Just watch one come back real good. And Harry said he loves this horse. Mm-hmm. In fact, for a horse that had probably never went 2 training miles in a row without making a break, he said he's never made a break training down.
It's Sesamids, right?
They were bothering him behind, yeah. And Harry said he is a very nice horse. So I didn't tell Bill Donnelly. I got to tell Bill that. Really excited to hear that from Harry. So Electric Line is schooling next week also. Flash Fly will come back in first week or 2 of December. George of the Jungle, is he back yet?
He is back.
He's back now. So George of the Jungle's back. Dominic said he was sound and looked good. Good.
Yes.
He's ready to start going, or he's jogging now, just starting back. Great Bet will come back in first week of December. Gypsy Hill, first week of December. Hallie in the Clouds made her first training trip the other day, and they said she was good. That's good. So Hallie in the Clouds is good. I'm Fancy Like will come back in first part of December, as will Insider Trading. I noticed Insider Trading's full brother is in the sale also. That was the horse you picked last year in that film, remember? Her full brother is in the sale also. So yes, we'll be looking at him. International Spy. Did Dominic say about him?
I did not.
Told me he trained.
How fast he...
Told me
they've been training, because
Yeah.
when I was there 2 weeks ago, they all trained on the...
Yeah.
And you know who else is close? Is that filly...
Yes,
Waffles.
2-3.
Yeah.
2-3. He trained her the other day.
They like her too.
I'll get to her in a second. It's exciting for you. It's exciting for me because I just heard about it too. So where are we at here? International Spy is training. I'm pretty sure Dominic said he trained good. He didn't tell me anybody trained bad. He said the one filly was a little pacey, but we know she paces. Yeah. They got to put more weight on her. I know they don't have enough weight on her. Irresistible Sun will come back in first part of December, as will J-Port Beach Boy, as will Lonely Lakewood. For those of you out there saying, Anthony, that's not much of an update. Would you like me to get you a video of them eating grass? They're out in the field right now. There's no updates. I'm just telling you when they'll be back in. The horse I'm most excited about over everybody, for obvious reasons, Lover's Play. Enos said she's put some weight on. She's starting to look good. I love this filly for a litany of reasons, but I'm so interested to see how she looks with harness on. I just can't wait for her to come back in. She's probably going to come back in maybe the first week in November. I'll bring her back.
Well, it depends if she's got weight on.
Well, you can't put a ton on her because she doesn't, I think with the mashes and stuff, we had her looking good when she ended up getting injured. I think she does need to come back in. I can't wait to see her back in. Mick Paisley, she's out in the field now?
She's going out when I swap Cowboy.
So next week. Next week she was out. She had a minor injury
She's
that's healed up now.
Till the Christmas.
Yeah, she'll be a Christmas horse. Mel Gibbswan will come back in second week in December. He just got turned out last week. Memory and Imagination, again, Christmas time for this guy also. Militant will come back in first part of December. No chance of Nils coming back in next week. He's got to come in. Yuri's got to come in, so we got a couple of horses coming in soon. Oh Snap You will also come back in next week. I can't wait to get this filly back going. Paycheck Princess is in Ontario. She should start training soon, I would imagine. Pickpocket just went out last week. We turned him out in Kentucky at Peninsula, Carter Dewar's place. So that's where Pickpocket is right now. Prince Charmer will come back in first part of December. Pull the Shoes second week. I want to give her lots of time. I love this filly. We'll bring her back in second week in December. Punch the Clock. We were just talking about her. So I did have Dr. Brown look at her. The issue with her is she still creeps over on the left shaft. So I'm going to do my best to shorten this up. Here's the problem we have with Punch the Clock. It's all good. It's timing, right? It's impossible for the vet to say, don't worry, Anthony, she's going to make it back and be a world champion. There's no way for me to say that, although she certainly looks some damn good her first start. Here's the problem we have with Punch the Clock. She is a tactical landing, who everybody's going to be after, half-sister to one of the most sought-after sires right now in King of the North. So we have probably one of the more valuable trotting fillies to breed in racing right now. And that's maybe not fair to say. One of, not even, a very valuable filly in horse racing. Very sought after filly is what she'll be. And I don't want to miss a window of potentially putting her in foal to, again, you're probably not going to get a shared Walner, but you talk to the right set of ears, you might be able to find one for this particular filly, depending on what we want to do with her. So you have this filly that could be a very, very good racehorse. Will she hold up? Will that injury that she had last year, will that creep up? Will that always bother her? Is there a way we can mitigate it, fix it, make sure that it's solidified and good forever? Nobody can say that. So as we're trying to figure out a racing timeline, you always have this clock in the corner of the screen, so to speak, that is running. And I don't want to gamble. Now, I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to say that. I just want to make sure that we have all the information so that we can make the right decision about Punch the Clock. Because if she's not going to be that superstar, which she could be, then I would like to have her in foal because she's worth a lot of money in foal. So I guess that's the best way. All these timelines are running along on the same time in my head for Punch the Clock, and then you got that hourglass in the corner. And that's where we're at with Punch the Clock. If it was just as simple, can she get the racing sides? No problem. Getting her to the races, I'm certain we can do that. I need to know, can she get to and potentially stay at 100+% all summer to become the horse we want her to become? And if not, what do we do then? So it is quite different than most of the horses we're going to talk about in that regard. Where are we at here? Punch the Clock. Purple People Eater will come back in 1st of December. Ready for Landing is training right now. I'm keeping a very, very, very close an eye as I can. If I could log into satellite time to watch him train, I would. I'm watching this guy very, very closely. Dominic said he's been very quiet. He knows what to say. He's been very quiet and very obedient, is what he said the other day. Yeah, very quiet and very obedient. He knew exactly what to say. I said, very quiet, very quiet. Okay, we'll see for now. Really don't care. We'll come back in the 1st of December. Rito's Lady is who we were talking about. 2-3 the other day and was very good. He had a little bit of vet work done on her after she trained. He said she's ready to go. They're going to start schooling her also. Interested to see how she is.
She's huge.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
She's huge.
She's big. She grew a lot.
Wow. That's surprising. Wow. Well, we'll see how Rito's Lady is. We'll all see together. Royal Emeralds will come back in first part of December. Seasons of Love is the filly that was a little pacey training. It's hard to explain. For a little horse, she needs a lot of weight. 3-ounce toe weights, 5/8 trotting shoes up front with flip-flops, and a set of weighted bell boots, which is an incredible amount of weight for a little horse.
Hey, did Bryce wear his weighted bell boots the other day?
Yes, he did. I'm almost tempted to take them off. If he hadn't made a break, he wouldn't be wearing them next week. He was good. It wasn't his fault.
I'll just see.
I would be curious to go back and look at those 2 race cards, Wednesday and Thursday, or even if you want to factor in Friday and see how many horses made breaks. And if you really wanted to take a deep dive, go back and see how many of those horses are prone to making breaks. I'd be very surprised to see that. That could be some homework for you tonight.
I'm good.
I don't like your attitude right now.
Let's see if Tyler's available.
So Seasons of Love. You're the one who scoffed. Seasons of Love just needs to put more weight on her. By weight, I mean weight on her feet. And for those of you out there saying that's not right, Spirited Dio wore an incredible amount of weight when she was a 2 and 3 year old. Sunset Acres Girl wore an incredible amount of weight as a 2-year-old. It's not really the end of the world. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. Sedona Hill will come back in first part of December. Sunset Acres Girl is not coming in until she is 72 to 80. 90 to 100 days from her first stake race. She might be out in the field till April. I have no idea.
Oh, because she doesn't start.
There's just no point.
September.
There's no point. Like you say, you just stuff her in the maiden. But they're not going to let her in a maiden unless you put a tag on her. I'm not going to tag her right before she races for all the stake races. She literally might be in the field till March or April. Sweeney will come back in first part of December. 3rd and 6th is training now. Dominic actually was a little more optimistic about him this week. He just...
He trained him last week?
Yeah, because he's such a mongrel sometimes. He's got that muscle mass, floppy way. I don't care about anything way of trotting. And he rolled off. I said, you got to put the hobbles on him. You got to make sure he's on his toes when you go to train him. He said he trained better the other day. Time is on my side. I'm going to bring him back. That's the 3rd horse. He comes back in this week, coming up. Vaquero Blue Chip, Victory Blue Chip, first part of December. Watch Your Mouth will be the 2nd week in December. We'll bring that guy back in. Widespread Panic can come in the next 2 weeks, maybe. We'll bring him back in. And Winter Bells, our girl Winter Bells, will come back in first part of December. Those are all your videos except your opening. I'm going to do my opening tomorrow on my way to Kentucky. It's 5.5 hours. I'll try not to make a 5.5 hour video for you in the opening, but I do want to touch on a number of topics as we head into the very last stakes of the year and into the very last sale of the year. So that is what will be on tap for tomorrow, but for now, all your other videos are all done. Take care.